Oh, hello, and welcome to the long-awaited return of Timey-Wimey Tuesday. Yes, well, it's been a while. We got a lot of catching up to do, so I thought, why not kind of make a fresh start of it? Some of you may recall a while back I did a live stream video in which I built the shelving unit you see behind me, specifically because I wanted a shelf unit of its own for my Doctor Who collection, just because there's so much stuff. It was getting kind of silly just having it strewn about all over the place. I had the DVDs in here, I had the books in my bedroom on my bookshelves, I had the comics in their own section, I had toys all over the place, and I was like, why have I got my Doctor Who stuff everywhere when I could just get, a shelf unit from Walmart and have its own shelf? I mean, there is enough stuff to warrant having its own entire bookshelf all to itself, and then it frees up all that shelf space on all those other shelves for other things. So that's exactly what I did. And no sooner did I do that than I had a lot of you guys requesting a closer look at it, just kind of see the final result and see, how I organized everything and whatnot. And I've been meaning to do that ever since building the shelves like a year ago. Yeah, procrastination is a harsh mistress. So, without any further ado, let's check out the Doctor Who shelf. Many shelves. My Doctor Who collection, today, on the Multimedia Chronicles, Timey-Wimey Tuesday. Welcome back! Wow, you're really far away. Why don't you come up here, and then we'll start, I guess, at the top and kind of work our way down. Hi. Alright, here we go. Well, first up, you probably noticed these big feet here. I have a knockoff Godzilla currently guarding the collection. I'll probably get something a little more Doctor Who related for the top shelf at some point, but for now, everything's on the shelves down below. So if we take a look here, we have first up this is actually a Tardis Piggy bank. It used to it's got the 10th Doctor and Martha in it. It used to light up and make noises, but it fell on the floor one day and has never worked since. Actually, does the... Yeah, it doesn't make any noises anymore. Probably just dead batteries, to be honest. But the light on top doesn't blink anymore either. And then we have the 3rd Doctor here, John Pertwee. And we also have the 3rd Doctor's sonic screwdriver. Very nice. And we've got a little wind-up Dalek. Very cool. Most of these toys were sent to me by viewers, actually, primarily David Bunch of Numbers, who, of course, lives in the deepest, darkest regions of Britain, and often finds me Doctor Who goodies. And then here, I've got the last few remnants of my Doctor Who VHS collection. I have basically this is a bootleg of the Curse of the Fatal Death, because it was never actually released officially over here. At least it wasn't at the time that I got it. I think it did get a limited release. And then I've got 2 special edition VHS tapes. I've done videos about these before, so I won't spend too much time on them. So check it out if you want to see the remnants of the VHS collection. We'll go through the back rows after. I'm just going to kind of show you the toys and stuff like that first. So moving down to the second shelf, you can see we kind of have a 4th Doctor motif going on here. Which is because the vast majority of the 4th Doctor's DVD adventures are on this shelf. I tried to kind of keep the toys on each shelf related to the videos that are also on that shelf. So we, of course, have the 4th Doctor action figure still in the original casing there. Very nice indeed. Got in there facing off with Sutek. Well, looking at the mummy. Oh, that's not really Sutek. It's Sutek's in that story. But that's the teleportation mummy sarcophagus thing. And then we have another Dalek. Very nice. Kind of posable. Well, you can see that there. There we go. Move the plunger around, you can move the head around, the eye stalk goes up and down. And there you go. And it's just got wheels on the bottom so you can roll it around and stuff like that. We, of course, have the Fourth Doctor's sonic screwdriver, which I'm pretty sure was actually a tire pressure gauge that they dressed up a little bit. But no, it's totally a sonic screwdriver, okay? And then we have just a little toy Canine. Very nice. And this actually, if you push, if you push the control panel on the top, and there it goes. Yeah, the inside is exposed. You can see all the circuitry and stuff in there. It's kind of cool. Pop that back on. And then we have a pop vinyl of the Fourth Doctor. Very nice. You've got a little sonic screwdriver. I don't know how well you can see that. Can we? Yeah, he's not posable. He can move his head. That's basically it. Yeah. So gotta love the pop vinyls. And then to go with that, I also have the pop vinyl version of the Tardis. So kind of a short, fat version of the Tardis. Very nice. And the yeah, this door opens, but that's it, and it's just open underneath. So you can actually put the Doctor in there if you want. There we go. Just kind of have him peeking out the door, seeing if it's safe to emerge. Then moving down to the next shelf, we have a Jadoon Captain. This, I believe, if I recall correctly, was sent to me by Metal Madness many, many moons ago. Very cool stuff indeed. Yes, and then we have all that remains of the 10th Doctor's sonic screwdriver. Rosie took it to school one day, and it got destroyed, essentially, so very sad tale there. But it was pretty cool. It was a combination pen and invisible ink. It came with, so this is the invisible ink pen. So the pen component was detachable. You could swap it out. And then we've got a couple of Cybermen here. We've got like a Cyber Captain, I guess, and just a regular troop. Very cool. And they are menacing my other TARDIS piggy bank, which is this one here. So this is just a plain tin one. And there's actually money in it. Oh my goodness, that's a rarity. So, yeah. So basically anytime I get loose change, I just toss it in here and, eventually I'll be rich. I'll just send it back in time to when I needed money, and then I'll be very grateful back then. Okay, so having to crouch down a little bit here. So the next shelf down, we don't really have much in the way of stuff in front because I'm saving room to fill it out with more of the Target books. But we do have the complete Matt Smith years Blu-ray set. So this is the entire run of the 11th Doctor. I did a video about this a while back too, so be sure to check that out if you want to know all about what's in that set. Very cool. Basically, the only reason it's here and not up above with the other stuff, like the DVDs and such, is because I just don't have room. It's a huge DVD collection. We'll take a quick look at it in a few minutes here. And finally, last but most certainly not least, on the hi, how's it going? On the bottom shelf here, we have all my Doctor Who reference books, coffee table books, magazines, and comics. So there's a nice selection of comics here. Old, I got old ones, got newer ones, got much newer ones. Got this wonderful omnibus that Rosie got me for Christmas, which has a bunch of the IDW ones. Very cool stuff. And there's all kinds of books, reference books, all about the making of the show and stuff like that. All kinds of behind-the-scenes goodies. Pretty much anything by Peter Haining. I have every single Peter Haining reference book that he ever wrote about Doctor Who, and he was very much the go-to guy for Doctor Who reference books all throughout the late 80s to early 90s. Great stuff. Okay, folks, we're going mobile. Alright, so here is the entire Doctor Who video collection. It's not just Doctor Who, it's also just sort of a general British sci-fi section as well. You can see I got Survivors, Hitchhiker's Guide, The Tripods, Day of the Tributes. The Starlost is not British, but it very much feels like it could be an old BBC show just from the style of production that it is, so I include it here because it evokes that flavor for me. So we start with An Adventure in Space and Time, go through all the William Hartnell stories, all the existing Patrick Troughton stories, all the John Pertwee stories, and that continues down here. You see I also have the complete series of Red Dwarf, series 1 through 12. Great stuff, love Red Dwarf. And then here we've got the rest of the John Pertwee stories, and a good chunk of the Tom Baker stories. Matter of fact, I think that might be all of them. Yeah, that's the entire run of Tom Baker right there on the shelf. Fantastic. And then down here, some more British sci-fi. We've got the bootleg editions of Series 1 and 2 of the new series. I've since replaced Series 1 with the Blu-ray edition. I need to get the region-free version of the Blu-ray of Series 2. We've got all 3 sets of the Tomorrow People. A couple more sonic screwdrivers that I forgot to show you. We've got the 8th Doctors, and where is it here? The 5th Doctors. So again, gifts from generous viewers that felt I needed lots of sonic screwdrivers in my life, and they were quite right, and I will be always grateful to them for that. So here we have the complete run of the 5th Doctor, the 6th Doctor, and the 7th Doctor. And then we've got the 8th Doctor movie. Got what was the 9th Doctor, but now is referred to as the Nth Doctor, Scream of the Shalka. And this is all of the individual sets I have of the new series. As you can see, definitely more of a classic series fan. What can I say? I'm old school. But I love them all, basically. I mean, it's all the same series, right? Like, it's all, one is a continuation of the other. So I've got a few of the individual releases, some of the Christmas specials, the 50th anniversary specials, stuff like that. Peter Capaldi's first story and the finale of his first season. And then, of course, the Matt Smith years. Now, if we move down here, this is a section that I'm still very much working on, but this is the Target books. All right, we get right in here. I'm right by the mic, so I can't yell like I normally do. So you can see I'm kind of going by Doctor. Started with the First Doctor. I have all but I think 2 of the Adventures of the First Doctor. A bunch of the second, the third. Now you may notice the numbering of the Target books. That's basically just numbered. They numbered them originally alphabetically, and then when they were reprinting them, and then just kind of continued the numbering through new publications as they came out. The numbers are completely arbitrary in terms of story order, so I have them, well, in story order, except for that one because that's a hardcover and it would look really out of place in the middle of the collection. It's actually story number 3, The Edge of Destruction. Oh, you're kind of waiting for a story review of that one, aren't you? Yeah, we'll get to that soon, don't worry. And then we, of course, have Shada and City of Death, again, separate just because they're a different size. The Pirate Planet is out now, only in hardcover at the moment. I'm waiting for the trade paperback so that it will at least match with those 2. And then we have the Pinnacle Books collection. This is every Pinnacle Books novelization that was published in the U.S. This was before Target Books, I guess, got a U.S. distributor. That was the only way we could get Doctor Who books over here back in the early 70s. And then these ones here are, there's one sort of new adventure published by the BBC. And then, why is that focus so horrible? There we go. And then just a few duplicates that I'm going to give away at some point. And there you go. So that's the entire Target Books collection. And then I think I already kind of showed you this. We got the reference books. We got the whole bunch of the magazines. I can't get... Anyway, we'll probably look at these another time because it's just too awkward to get into right now with one hand and holding the camera with the other hand. So, yeah, good stuff. And there you have it. That is the coveted Doctor Who shelf. As you can see, still lots of space on it, and that's what I wanted. I basically just wanted to have the collection consolidated onto one comprehensive shelf unit with room to expand, because obviously I've got at least another row's worth of the Target books to go. I think I've got about half of them now, actually. Pretty darn close anyway. I've been pretty diligent in grabbing them whenever I can. The DVD collection is complete. I basically just need to focus on the new series and get caught up there. I've seen them all. I mean, I watch them basically as they air. But, you know, I want to own them on Blu-ray, ideally. So, yeah. So there was supposed to be Region 1 releases of the Blu-ray upconvert sets of Series 2, 3, and 4 of the new series, but they were canceled. But then the BBC sneakily made a region-free version of those sets available for import to North America. They cost about twice as much as the Region B versions, so if you've got a region-free player, you might as well just get the Region B version because you're going to save some money. But if not, there is a region-free version available that you can get. Just expect to pay about what we normally pay for one of those seasons here, which is namely around 70 or so bucks. Yeah. So I'll get them eventually. I'm not in any huge rush. But, yeah, so right now the main focus is the Target books. Obviously, I'm trying to collect all of those. And then from there, probably the comics. One thing I'd like to do is get roughly the first 300 issues of the Doctor Who magazine, just to have as a nice set. Because I've got a good chunk from those early days, and I'd really like to kind of get a solid run. I figure 300 is a good number, and then just kind of get choice issues from there. But in particular for those early days, because they did some really cool stuff in the magazine that I really enjoyed a lot. I mean, there's the comics, obviously, but there's tons of behind-the-scenes articles about the show and interviews and like a lot of exclusive stuff, which is really cool. So, yeah, it was an invaluable resource to the show as I was growing up and learning all about its rich history. Alrighty, I think that's long enough for this overview video. Hope you enjoyed the epic return of Timey-Wimey Tuesday. I wanted to do something special for the big return video, so this was a no-brainer as far as I'm concerned. So a little later today, I actually have a package opening. Yes, I received a package from one of my longtime viewers with some Doctor Who goodies in it, so be sure to check that out. And if there's anything else, well, enjoy. And if not, well, hope you enjoy what there is. Story-by-story reviews will be returning at some point. I don't specifically know when. At this point, I kind of need to rewatch some of the episodes that I was working on to refresh my memory. And then, you know, maybe we'll get back to that. Alrighty. That is it from me to you for now. So big thanks for watching. Thanks to my Patreon sponsors. And we'll see you next time. So until then, sayonara.